So what we have right here is the brand new Samsung Galaxy SmartTag, and this was released alongside the S21, the S21 Ultra, the Plus, and of course the Galaxy Buds Pro. And with all of that stuff coming out, this kind of got overlooked. So in this video, I want to break down what the Galaxy SmartTag does and what it doesn't do. So there's a couple things I want to talk about, like, for example, does it work with non-Samsung devices? Is it water resistant? A lot of questions that you might not think of at first, but they definitely need to be asked when you're talking about this device. We'll also talk about what it is, what it does, and of course, some of the really cool features, such as smart home controls you could do with this little button right here. Now, starting off with just a summary, I want to talk about, if we just look closely at this, you can see it looks really similar to a tile. So if you guys know what tile is, it's like a little Bluetooth low energy tag button thing, and you put it on like your keys or anything you want that you don't want to lose, and if it's within range of your phone, you can say find it and it'll make a beeping sound. It's a pretty simple concept there, and that's how you find your keys. I use it all the time. It's really a great thing to have. But this, made by Samsung, has some additional functionality. So obviously you can do the reverse. So if I push the button here, I can find my phone will beep, but it also has some other really cool things. So we'll get more into the functionality in a second, but as you can see from the front, we have a little logo right there. It says Galaxy SmartTag. That's actually the button. So the entire front plastic flexes, and there's kind of a nice little tactile feedback under there, and that's how you'll actually get it to do whatever you want. On the top, we have a little hole. That's going to be how you tie this onto your keys, or as they showed in the release, like your dog's collar. I wouldn't put this on my dog, but whatever you're gonna lose, you can put it on there. On the bottom, we have our little speaker hole. That's obviously what's making the sound, and then a little slot. You can put a screwdriver in there, twist it, and that's how you open it up to replace the battery. This has a pretty standard CR2032, I think, battery. It's like the standard battery you see in a lot of watches. They're at like every single Best Buy, and you can really buy them pretty much anywhere. So I think they said the battery life on this should be pretty long, about a year, but it's good to know that you're going to be able to replace that battery pretty easily. One unfortunate thing about this design is that it appears to have no water resistance rating. So I dug through Samsung's website, through the spec sheets, and I didn't see anything that mentioned anything about a water resistance. And while I really don't expect to drop my keys in the water, there are plenty of other things that I would want to put this on that have a probability of getting wet, and it seems that would probably damage the SmartTag. Now, other than that, let's start talking about some of the functionality with this device. As I mentioned before, if you have the SmartThings app on your Samsung device, actually, let me stop there and rewind a little bit. I mentioned Samsung device. This, unfortunately, only works on Samsung devices. So if you have an iPhone or any other Android phone, according to Samsung, this is not going to work. So you really need to have either a Samsung phone or a Samsung tablet in order to effectively use the SmartTags. It's kind of a weird, unfortunate thing that they're doing, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think they're just trying to strengthen their ecosystem, and they know this is like a really small loss if somebody doesn't buy it. It's no big deal, but it's a little incentive to push you into the Samsung ecosystem. Now, okay, let's get back into the functionality of this. As I said, you can push the button twice to find your phone, but if you push it once, or if you press and hold it, you have two other functions that you can actually completely define within the app. So let's take a look at the app now, and I'll show you guys a bunch of other things you can do, as well as how you can actually remap that. Okay, so here we are in the SmartThings app, and as you can see in the little on-the-go category, we have keys. Now, when you connect these, you can actually rename them to whatever you want. Because I plan on these being on my keychain, it makes sense just to name them keys. So let's tap on that, and it'll bring you into a lot of different settings. On the top, it'll tell you the status. Currently, it's nearby. One thing I wish these did was, I really wish it would give you a notification when you are out of range. So for example, like a lot of times the Galaxy Watch does this. If you get out of range, it'll notify you. I think that would be great, just so that if I leave my keys like at a bar or something, or a restaurant, and I'm leaving, it'd be great if it's like it notified me when I reached a certain distance and I thought, oh, it's out of range. It's obviously not in the car with me. That would be a really nice feature. Maybe they'll add that, who knows, but it's not there right now. We can view it on the map. So if I go and open up the map, it'll go into the SmartThings Find app, and it's going to show you at least where it was last seen. Now, something to note with this is, even though I'm using the S21 Plus, which has UWB technology, which is ultra wideband, and essentially what that means is I should be able to pinpoint things that are using UWB. This device, the SmartTag, is not actually using that. Samsung's coming out with a SmartTag Plus later on this year that will be using UWB. And what that means is if I have this like behind a bookshelf, I can actually, on my phone, like look around, have kind of an AR setup, and it'll show me that it's behind the bookshelf to really help you find things. This is a really nice feature, but of course, I mean, the beeping on there does a pretty decent job anyway, so if I'm anywhere within range, I could just make it beep, and I should be able to hear it behind a bookshelf. But regardless, that's going to be the difference between the SmartTag and the SmartTag Plus. Now, going down, you can go and let your tag find your device. I'm going to enable that. And like I said, that's going to be if I double tap this, it'll ring my phone. So it'll ring my phone and I can find my phone. So obviously you can find your phone with the Galaxy Watch or with other devices, but it's nice that you have it with this as well. So if you just have your keys and your phone, you can find your phone. Going down, we have right here, you can press and hold and customize what this is going to do. So if we hit the little plus, we have 4 different options here. So the first one is control devices. So any kind of IoT, Internet of Things. So for example, like smart lights, or if you have mine, it's like literally my refrigerator. So if I push the button, I can have something happen. It could turn on lights. It could change the temperature of my refrigerator. You could do stuff like that. It's really, really powerful. But I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to use it. I don't have a ton of Samsung smart devices in my home, but you know, it's something that is going to be there. You could also notify somebody. So if you wanted to like send a text to somebody, maybe this is like a daily reminder for like your parents to take their medicine. I don't really know why you'd want to notify somebody with this. Maybe when you're in an area, like a geolocating thing. But regardless, like it's something you could do. You could send a text whenever you push the button, or if you double tap it. You know what? Maybe that would be a good example if you're in a long distance relationship, maybe pushing the button just to say like, hey, I'm thinking of you. I don't know. That's an idea. I have no idea why people would do this. But if we go back, you can also change this location's mode. So maybe like change to away, or you could run some scenes as you saw on the bottom. So those are what you're going to do. You can actually map the same ones for press and hold, or just single press. So you can have 2 different functions on this key or on this tag. I'm not going to set up either one of those because I really don't care about that. But then if we go down here, we can change the volume, high or low, and we have like 10 or 12 different sounds that we can actually customize. And of course, on the bottom tells you the battery life or the battery level of the SmartTag, and that's pretty much everything you'll be doing in the app. So guys, that's what I have to say about the Samsung Galaxy SmartTag. It's such a simple device, but it's a really nice addition to Samsung's ecosystem. I really like how well it integrates with the S21. Of course, that's the only thing it integrates with is a Samsung device. So if you don't have an Android or a Galaxy phone, if you have any other Android or if you have an iPhone, you should definitely be looking into getting a Tile. If you already have Tiles, they're so similar that I don't know if it's necessarily worth buying this. But I mean, the smart mapping feature on there, being able to map the single press or the press and hold to do something with your smart home, I think is a really cool feature. It's a cool flex if you're at a party and you say, oh, look, if I push my button, I can change my lights in my house like 50 miles away. I don't know. It's a cool thing to have regardless. But comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the Samsung Galaxy SmartTag and the SmartTag Plus. If you'd be buying one, which one would you get? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.